All right, this is Nolan Ramsey interviewing Debbie Vieira. Is that how you say your last name? Vieira. Um, uh, for my Management 422 class. So, first off, Debbie, just some background about yourself. Just where you're from, where do you work, how did you get here, and then how long have you been in this role?
Yeah. So I'm not from Phoenix, Arizona, actually. I'm from Oxnard, California. It's a very small town in Ventura County, Southern California. It's the most beautiful city in the world. That's what I like to say. But I love that place. But yeah, so I actually came to GCU as his undergrad.
Okay.
So and my grad, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I did my undergrad here, and I came to be a teacher. So I got my degree in education, K through 8. And yeah, I was here for 3 years. I was a transfer student. So I actually did community college for 2 years. I spent like 5 years in college in total, because I didn't start until like probably when I was 21. I started going to, no, 20. I started going to college. So anyway, so yeah, I graduated from here with an education major, and then I went back to California, and then I was a teacher. I was a teacher for 3 years, second grade. And I was a teacher during COVID, which was great. It was pretty hard, actually, because, and nobody knew what they were doing with their life. So COVID kicked in. We went online. I went online with 8-year-olds, so that was really tough. Professionally, like I just didn't know how to do that. And also I had students that were like that had disabilities.
Yeah.
So then I had to do disabilities online too, which was crazy.
Cool.
But anyway, I learned how to do that. I overcame it, but then I didn't want to do it anymore. And I was like, I need something else to happen in my life a little different. So I left education, well, teaching education, and I got a job here. I came back from Southern California back here, and yeah, I started as a coordinator. I think you were a freshman, right, when I was a coordinator?
Yeah, I believe.
So I was a coordinator, and then quickly moved into the manager role when the manager left my first year here, which is crazy. But yeah, so then now here I am. I've been a manager now for 2 years. This is my 3rd year with ASGCU, but 2nd year being a manager. So it's been crazy, but yeah.
What branch did you manage as coordinator?
Operations.
Operations.
So I was Micah. Yep. For like less than a year.
Less than a year, and then moved into this position.
Yeah. Just crazy.
And ASGCU is the whole time as the organization.
Yes. So ASGCU, been in it since the beginning. I actually applied for CAB.
Really?
For Austin's position. He's the one that's doing lip sync. And then I'm like, absolutely not. I cannot do those events. So I didn't I wasn't even offered, but I stopped my applications with that, because I don't think I wasn't going to do that. No, there's no way.
I'm going to pause it for a sec. Okay, we're good.
Cool.
And then, so since you've been in your position as either managing as coordinator or managing over all of ASGCU, what would be your greatest achievement, do you believe, during that time?
Oh, man. I think my greatest achievement at this time is hiring a whole new staff team that I had to hire on my own. So I wasn't given a team. I had to hire them on my own. So I think that was one of my greatest achievements, and training them, because I had to train them through the first couple months, and just setting them up for success for their first year. First year is always really tough in ASGCU as a staff member.
Yeah.
You're coming into a new space where students don't know you.
Yeah.
Students are pretty harsh on staff members, and they have this expectation of what staff need to be, and most of the time they're not their first year.
Right.
Because first year is always like getting to know, learning the ropes and everything. But then you have this other layer of students who are like, oh, well, you need to do this and that because we've done this in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have staff members going through that. So then I had to come in and kind of teach them those things. Like, okay, I see, and I'm pretty sure this is going to happen. So we try to prevent those things from happening and just kind of preparing them for that.
Yeah.
So, because I have literally all new team this year, so all of them. I think Latasha was the last one that was from the old team, but now Jada came in, and then now I have a whole new team that's brand new. So
it's really been over a time through the past 3 years then, just hiring a whole new team.
Yeah. So it took a couple of years to have a new team, and I'm very thankful for them. They've done a great job, and I'm very, very proud of myself for doing that. I think that was really hard to do as a new manager on her own with little
not much experience.
Not much experience in this field. So going from a teacher when teaching 7-year-olds to now like creating a whole team for your leadership team is a little difficult.
Yeah.
So,
was there any, when you were hiring, was there any like strategy? Like, was there anything that you looked for in a person?
Yeah, I really used the Working Genius. So the Working Genius program, I mean, about it, but it's like it's like a, development into like knowing what type of team you're going to have, what skills that you need for your team. Thankfully, I have a team that has every single gear that you want to call it, but every skill. So all of us in the team actually have a specific skill that the other person doesn't have. So in regards to like having Tyson, he has discernment. We all kind of know that he has that discernment of saying right or wrong. But I know that's something that another team member might not be the best at, and that's okay because we have someone who can fulfill that.
Yeah.
So I was definitely looking into that. I strategized that. I knew that Jada coming into this team, I knew I was going to need someone with tenacity, because these two are really good at making those ideas and discerning them, but not fully going through with it. And so I looked into having tenacity, having some wonder, having some invention. So yeah, I did have some strategy behind that. And the Working Genius was a huge program that I can definitely lean back on. So yeah.
For sure. And then, so now we'll kind of like go through this spreadsheet.
Yeah.
With that achievement, there's a list of, let's see, 10 or so different characteristics that could be used in that situation. And so, like, when you're hiring, how well did you, or during that accomplishment, how often did you use listening? And you don't have to give like a deep description, but it's just a 1 to 5.
Yeah, for sure. I'd definitely say like a 4.
Okay. Next there. And then for empathy, hiring.
Maybe a 2.
Maybe a 2, yeah. I mean, you can't really have too much empathy hiring because you can really try to feel bad or relate to each candidate. And then healing. I know it's kind of an odd one for this situation, but
probably none. So probably 1.
Never used. I would probably agree. Oh shoot, I put that for. And then awareness.
Oh, I would say 5 for sure.
I'd say. The next one is persuasion. Did you have to do any persuading, like when you hired them, like to try to get them on the team to?
Yeah, you kind of always have to do that somewhat. Bit. So like a 3 or.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
There. 3 or okay.
I'll do 3.
Okay, and then conceptualization. That's kind of some of these like are kind of hard to apply to the situation, but.
I know. How do you? I'm gonna say 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Foresight. I feel like this one would.
What would be foresight?
Did you have like foresight, like when you're hiring to your team, like looking ahead, like what you wanted from a team?
Oh, for sure 5. I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stewardship.
Yeah, definitely 5.
For stewardship, especially in a student leadership position.
Yeah.
You kind of need that.
Yeah.
And then commitment to growth of people.
5.
And then interest in building community.
5.
Yeah, I feel like in that situation.
5, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do
I
5.
feel like in that situation, in this group, that you need
Yes.
that's very
Yeah,
essential.
it is very essential for the culture itself. Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for that. And
Yeah.
then, let's see here. Next would be the challenge. So, or like an ethical dilemma. Over these 3 years, what is one that just comes? What's the biggest one that comes to your mind?
Man, I would definitely say change. I think change is really, it was a challenge for me. I'm a huge person on change. I love change.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love change. I also have a hard time with change and once it has been changed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it once we're in it, in the present. It's like, oh my gosh, I actually need to create something for this change. So change and adaptability would be one. I think adapting to new things, new changes in this role is very difficult. We're changing the organizational chart, and I feel like that was a huge change that at this moment, I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
I know when that time comes and we're opening that door, it's going to have some changes and challenges, and I think that sometimes that's what gets me. It's like, okay, I need to figure out what those challenges will be.
Yep.
But that's really hard because you don't really know what's going to happen, know, and then you get there and you're just like, okay, we'll see. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. So a lot of problem solving there, but for sure, that is very challenging for me, is that change and adaptability could be a little difficult
over
at
the
times.
3 years.
Yeah.
And then from that, from the change over the 3 years, what have you learned, or what has been the outcome resulting from that change, I guess?
Yeah. I think what's really important in this role is to be very flexible. You never know what's going to happen in student engagement. You never know when there is a student that might just leave, or we have a student that is, I don't know, having problems at home, or we have a staff member that might leave for 3 weeks because they're getting married, So a lot of these things come in and you have to be flexible. So definitely learned how to be very flexible with these changes and adapting to those things. And I think not creating this sense of stress for yourself. I think in the beginning I was a very stressed person. I still am, but I try to stress differently now, but
how to manage it.
Yeah, definitely manage it. But for sure, learning how to manage that and just go through those challenges and see where it goes. But there needs to be flexibility in this position. You can't just do it and be like, it has to go this way, because we work with students, we work with staff members, we never know.
I know, I'm the same way. I see a vision as any variance or whatever. It's stressful. So.
Yeah, and I'm very much one to prepare for worst case scenarios, but I also don't have control of those things, so I just have to wait till those things come and see where it goes.
Right. Okay. Then we'll go to the spreadsheet again.
Okay.
And then it's the same exact characteristics, but this time with the challenge situation.
For sure. Okay.
So when you're using that challenge of change and learn how to adapt over the last 3 years, how well have you used listening?
Yeah, I would say 5 for sure. I kind of had to in those moments.
Yep. And then empathy.
5.
Healing.
I just don't even know how to use how that
healing.
Word is used in this scenario, in this whole spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Healing. No, I would say 2.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be a little bit talking to students, whatever, but that's not really deals with change really necessarily.
Not really. Let's just do 1 for that then, because I don't think we're getting to healing anymore. No.
Yeah. Awareness.
Definitely 5.
Yeah. If you're not aware, then there's usually a problem.
Yeah, seriously.
Persuasion.
I'd say 4.
4. Okay. Yeah. Conceptualization.
Trying to think of how to.
Maybe kind of difficult too.
That word is. What does that mean? I'm trying. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. I think it's more like conceptualization. Well, it's hard to, and thinking of the context I'm thinking of it in is different than, I mean, it's hard to put it into like a situation.
To form an idea. That's what it says right there.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think we just have, I would say 1.
Yeah. Foresight.
Definitely 2.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of hard to have foresight when things are constantly evolving, changing, and whatever else. Yeah. Stewardship.
3.
Okay. Commitment to growth of people.
3.
Okay. And then interest in building community through your challenge and change.
Yeah. 4.
4? Okay, perfect. All right.
Is this touchscreen?
What? No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
I wish. I'm not that high tech. Maybe my next one. And then, so just towards the end of this, I guess we're getting to the end of this interview, but the mission, vision, and statement. What are the mission, vision, and statement of the organization? Do we have a mission, vision, mission, vision, and strategy for ASGCU?
I mean, we do have a mission and a vision. Do I know them at the top of my head? No, I don't know them. But I definitely know that it's for serving students. I think serving students is what is our goal, to serve students, and just I don't want to mess up the mission statement, so I don't want to say too much on that.
And I can look that up too.
Yeah, I can look that up. But definitely I think that is what I love to do. I just love to serve students. I love to serve staff too, you know. I think as a manager, we don't really get the luxury of being with students all the time, which I would love more. Thankfully, I have a great team that can be with students constantly, which is really great. But yeah, I think having that as our mission at all times is just like serve them, but serve them with excellence. You know, that's what really matters to us.
And I mean, you kind of answered that, but like, how did you use the mission and vision to accomplish your goals?
Yeah. I think when it comes to, it's weird because I don't know if, I'm trying to think of my goals, right?
Yeah.
Are you referencing what we said before?
Yeah, kind of more referencing what we said before. Like, how did you use the mission and vision within those situations too?
I think, like I said earlier, I think servant leadership is very important in this role, and because we're trying to create servant leaders, and I think if I have a team that's not filled with that, then I would hate myself for doing that to the team. And thankfully, I think we have a pretty good team of servant leaders, and thankfully they're humble and they're kind enough to teach others, but also learn themselves. So, yeah, I think it meshes very well.
Yeah.
So.
And then, what are from your from the change you've seen over the 3 years, from the accomplishment of putting together staff and a team, what are two lessons or takeaways or attributes that you have realized are essential to success?
I definitely think collaboration is very important, and leadership, I think is pretty up there too. I think in this role, when I started it, I wasn't very confident in myself. I think I suffer from imposter syndrome sometimes, where I'm just like, I don't think I belong in this position. like, who am I to be in this position? And I think over the, like, year that I was in it, I finally got that, like, confidence to, like, have that leadership quality. And I think leading others is always, it's always a representation of yourself through others. I think it's nice to see how others lead, because it's kind of like, okay, us together as a team, we created that dynamic together. And I think collaboration is so important. I don't think my idea should always be the right idea. I think the best idea should always be the one that goes through. And I can't do that if I'm not collaborating. And I think collaboration is very important, especially in a team where we all work together to have the same focus, and the same objective is to serve students. So definitely collaboration and leadership are very important to me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks. And then the final question.
Nice.
Yep, we're about there.
Yeah, that's good.
Describe anything you wish you would have specifically avoided that may have derailed or delayed your success.
I think I don't think of anything professional. I think of something personal, which is confidence. I think confidence is very important for any type of success, but I think if you don't believe in yourself, you can't really get too far. So
kind of that imposter syndrome that you had before.
Yeah. So I think definitely confidence. If I had the same confidence I have now from the beginning, I think I would have grown a lot more in the past 2 or 3 years than I have. So I don't regret it. I think the Lord does his job the way he wants to.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think confidence was one that I had to just, like, go over that hump. Thankfully, I have a team of managers and Jeremy that were very helpful within that season. They really helped me push myself through that that weird level of, like, no confidence at all.
Right.
So definitely it was helpful to have another manager team, that because I do have staff that I oversee, but I also have a manager team that really helps too. So I'm very thankful for them. So yeah, I would just say that confidence for sure.
Perfect. Well, I think that's about everything I have. Thank you, Debbie. Really
Nice.
appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Oh my gosh, that was exactly 30 minutes, which worked out.